ATK in this thing, TKG type of fucking. ATK in this thing, TKG, what is good with y'all, man? Listen, y'all see the title. Y'all know we're getting into, man. You know what I'm saying? My lighting is terrible, but we doing this shit on the fly. I'm just now finding out about this. The 2024 XXL cover has been exposed, and I'm having an old head moment. I was having an old head moment reading the list because I'm like, who are these niggas? So, hold on. I actually have to, you know what I'm saying? I got to read off the people. Big X the Plug, the Mexican OT, who I know of, admittedly. Lay Banks, who I don't know who the fuck this is. I don't know who Big X the Plug is too either, to be very, very, very fair. Bossman D Flow, or D-Lo. Bossman D-Lo. I've heard of him, but I have not heard him. Rich Amiri, who I have heard of. You know, I see all the tight beats for him and shit, so yeah, it's impossible to not know of him at this point. Scarlip, who I also don't know of, but people were telling me that she was pretty good, so admittedly, maybe I was sleeping on her. Huncho, or yeah, his name is spelled crazy, but I'm assuming it's pronounced Huncho. Heard of him because of the whole Keisha Cole stuff. She's weird, by the way. But I've heard of Huncho. I've not heard him, but and people say he is the biggest person on this cover. So I don't. Four Bats. I know of Four Bats. Heard Four Bats. He's pretty talented. Maya the Dawn. When I was doing my initial predictions, which I'm about to show y'all because I did get a few of these right. But I've never heard of Maya the Dawn. I've heard of Maya the Dawn when I was doing my predictions. I seen her, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, yeah, I've heard people talking about her and stuff, and she's been making the rounds, so I figured, yeah, she was gonna make the list, which y'all will see in a second. Cash Cobain, the only reason why I know of him is because of that Grippy song with J. Cole. Other than that, I mean, he's been in some other high profile songs, but he himself, you know, I don't know. I don't know, man. I can't. Skilla Baby, who was the 10th spot winner, which, you know what I'm saying, Detroit boy, so we proud of Skilla Baby, you know what I'm saying, and the producer is going to be Southside. Southside's pretty good, but I can already tell you right now, man, this class, y'all, TKG, whenever I do these reveals, y'all want to hear me talk about how this class is going to shape up. And honestly, with me not really knowing most of this class, because usually when we talk about the other classes, I know a good majority of the class. Like, I've heard of them. I've only confidently heard of, you know, Four Bats and Rich Amiri and Mexican OT. That's it. Not even really Skilla Baby, because I'm, you know what I'm saying, I'm a Michigander, proud Michigander, but I'm not entirely too tapped in, but I know Skilla Baby gets around. So if anything, you know, I want to have 100% support for Skilla Baby, and I want him to do the best on the class. But I'm not gonna lie to you, man. People every year say, and they look at the class and they're like, oh yeah, you know, this has the potential to be one of the worst classes, yada yada yada, that whole little spiel, right? This dead ass has the chance to be the worst, and in my personal opinion, this could already be the worst one without even getting like, how I determine what the worst class is, the best classes are. You gotta wait to see who has the best careers later. Like 2011 stands out, 2016 stands out, 2010 stands out. A lot of their freshmen go on to have promising careers, you know. For 2010, you had Cole, you know. For 2011, you had Kendrick Lamar and Mac Miller and Meek Mill and such. For 2016, you know, you had 21 Savage, you had Kodak, you had Lil Uzi Vert, you know what I'm saying? Guys such as them type, Denzel Curry even, G Herbo, you know? These recent classes, they haven't had too many success stories. I guess the last one that has had been like surprisingly well was 2020, and most of them have been pretty amazing, honestly. So 2021, 2022, 2023, the last one was so underwhelming. The one before that was also pretty underwhelming, and the one before that was also tad underwhelming, although it was pretty fun to talk about. It hasn't been looking too good for XXL, and this is like a glaring issue with XXL right now. On my initial list, I had Caribou, if I'm not mistaken, Kenny Mason, guys of them, you know. I think V's I had on there too. I was so certain that V's was gonna make it, honestly. Skilla Baby, I believe I had on there as well, but I kind of knocked it out of the park for most of these. I don't know who Lay Banks was. You know what I'm saying? Well, some of these, it was such an obvious pick because, like, again, the biggest issue that XXL is facing for this class specifically, there wasn't any obvious choices. There wasn't. Like, you can't look at anyone on this list and then place them confidently in any other XXL cover confidently. This is the weakest as far as star power goes. There's no one on this list where you can say, oh yeah, rap is going to be in good hands for the future. Like, this doesn't give me that type of confidence. This is like, you look at lists initially and you're like, oh yeah, like, there's nobody here that's about to stand out. Like, there's nobody on this list that I confident. Like, let me look one more time, because maybe I'm tripping. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm just like, I'm doing what I do with all the lists every year when I look at them. You know what I'm saying? Big X the Plug. Admittedly, I don't know too much of his work, but people have told me that he's stellar. You know what I'm saying? He could hold his own when it comes to rapping. And I believe I was going to talk about him at some point on one of my videos. The Mexican OT, I can admit, when it gets to his time to do ciphers and freestyles, like, he's one of them dudes that has to do everything, because he's one of the interesting people for this cover. He's one of the people that people are going to know of, because he had a huge hit song. And I feel like, again, I want to talk about that too at some point when it comes to the criteria of getting on XXL. At some point, it gets to, like, all right, let me finish the point that I'm trying to make first. Lay Banks, again, I don't know anything of. I'm not going to sit here and assume she's Sweetie 2.0. I said that about Lakia, and I didn't know nothing about her. I was wrong. I eat my words. Lay Banks, though, I'm going to check her out. I'm going to see what was popping with her, because I don't know nothing. Boss Man, D-Lo, people I see talking about, and I do not like how he spells his name. The Boss Man are connected, and then D-Lo, like, I don't know. I'm not gonna lie to you. His name irritates the shit out of me. He could be good as fuck, but yeah. Reacting to these niggas is gonna be something, for real. Richard Mary, I ain't gonna talk too much on Richard Mary, honestly, because, again, he's one of those, I feel like he's one of them people will say has been deserving it for a long time, and he might have, but the fact that he's made it on this cover of people that are so unknown, it's like, I don't know. It's not unknown per se, because again, D-Lo, OT, Big X, like them guys alone have been getting talked about, but them guys have not made big waves. Like last year's cover, you had Glorilla, you had Central C, big waves, people. This list before that, if I'm not mistaken, had was that the cover with damn, my mind is fucked. I want to hope that's the one that had Doechii and what's her name, 22, had Doechii and all them folks, Nardo Wick and them. Nardo Wick was the standout, you know. 21 was the one with DDG and them. Coil Ray was the standout, you know. And then 2020, it had a bunch of standouts. Jack Harlow, Polo G, Lil TJ, you know, people of them nature. This one doesn't have any standouts. This one didn't have a clear-cut superstar. The Mexican OT being your superstar is like fucked up. Huncho being your superstar is like fucked up. Four Bats being your superstar is fucked up because Four Bats is he's not even at a point where he's like exorbitant, like showcased to a point where it's like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Oh, he most definitely does, which he did deserve it, you know what I'm saying? Because if you would have left him off, it's like you're clearly doing it for some stupid reason. I don't know. Maya the Dawn, I can't speak on, you know what I'm saying? Cash Cobain, I can't speak on. Skilla Baby, like nobody from this list absolutely stands out. No one from this list, I'd say, if I was to look at every other list in a XXL history and I took the best person, they would look odd standing next to every other person in XXL history. The only, like, the best person, if you say Huncho's the best from this class and I put him in last year's class, like, he's gonna stand, like, okay, never mind. He might deserve it because that class wasn't all that great. Like, the XXL started looking a little weak after 20. 20 was pretty nice. 21 was 22 was and 23 was not good. But this class, most definitely, I'm not gonna lie to you, we're gonna get to the part when we get to the freestyles and everything, and it just seems like XXL, you get to the part where people get to vote and all that stuff, and then I go to the website and I don't see nobody that absolutely like clear. Like Caribou seemed like she was like instant. They didn't put her on. I'm gonna assume she fucking declined it, because why wouldn't you put her on? She has probably the most attention on her out of most of the people on this list. If not her, then it's probably Huncho. But Huncho gets all this attention for reasons that aren't music. Right now, people are talking about him because of the Keisha Cole shit, and because he's a pretty straightforward dude. Like, whenever I see Huncho in the news, I see him for reasons not talking about rap. Four Bats, admittedly, you see him get talked about a lot. He's a part of OVO, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know, OVO right now is not being talked about for, you know, the artists, but because of Drake and his impending issues in this beef. You know, Maya the Dawn, I hear her get talked about when they talk about underrated female rappers. It's a weak list. It's a weak looking list. Is it going to sound weak when we get to XXL, the freestyles and the ciphers and all that stuff? Of course, we always eat our words when we find out that some of these people actually are talented, and then some of these people wind up like proving us right. I'm not gonna lie, more than any other year in XXL history, I'm so certain that there's gonna be some people that shock me, and there's gonna probably be a lot of people on this list that disappoint the fuck out of me. No one on this list can afford to not do this shit, because then XXL winds up looking super weak if even one person skips out this year. Mexican OT decides to not do anything, it's fucked. Huncho doesn't do shit, it's fucked. Boss D-Lo, I hate his fucking name so much. Boss Man D-Lo doesn't do it. Fuck. Everyone has to participate, or this cover is gonna wind up being the worst cover. It reeks of 2015. It looks that weak. Like the star from 2015 was like obviously Vince Staples, and then everyone else was just there. You know what I'm saying? Like, this year, it's like it's so grossly lacking stars. Vince Staples, even at the time, wasn't that big of a star, but he still clear-cut deserved it over everyone else. He was still an establishing name. He was coming up. Four Bats, I feel like, could be this year's star, like where he could be the best in the future, because he does have a great future. But then you look at the people that usually sign with OVO, they don't usually have prospering careers. Admittedly, they wind up having a good first year, and then they just wind up not getting heard of ever again for some weird reason. They wind up getting a rub from Drake, and then they you know what I'm saying, they just disappear from the mainstream. So Four Bats, I'm hoping, does pretty good. Huncho, I need to find out a little more of. I think I want to make a video where I listen to everybody and rank them based off of my enjoyment of each person. I can't even lie to you, man. This shit here, this list, I'm not looking forward to it. I'm really not. Like, last year, I felt like skipping ahead. 2022, I was checked out. I didn't give a fuck no more. I was just like, I don't like, this shit is not fun. Like, it's not. I didn't care no more. Plus, I was dealing with mental health issues, all that shit connected. This year, my mental's straight. for the most part, and it should be nothing interfering. But this shit just doesn't look like it needs a lot of our attention. Like at some point, I'm gonna be done talking about XXL because they're not like the shit. Rap is in a fucked place right now, and I feel like that's a part of the issue too. There's no real different sounding stars coming up in rap. Four Bats is the most different sounding person from this list, because the rest of the motherfuckers, I feel like I'm gonna be talking about the same stuff. Maya the Don, I feel like it's gonna sound just like motherfucking Lay Banks. I'm gonna be honest, bro. Like, there's a lot of niggas that's gonna be like, oh, I'm excited, and no, I'm not excited, dude. I'm not at all. So realistically, just off of the first look, it ain't it. I'm expecting to see probably two to four good performances. The rest probably gonna disappoint me. Yeah, man. I'm really curious to see what other YouTubers are saying about this. Honestly, I'm gonna check out a few other ones that I fuck with talking about stuff, because nah, bro. I feel like I'm alone in this opinion that this looks like the weakest XXL in history. I feel like there's gonna be some people defending it and saying, oh, it's got hope and shit. Probably because I'm not too tapped into all the rappers on this list. This is like the most unrecognizable XXL I've ever seen. Like, usually you got a few people where they're like, I don't know who this is. I was saying that like through like the whole fucking list. I never heard Boss Man D-Lo. I never really heard Big X the Plug. I thought Big X the Plug had like 2 hits. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Boss Man D-Lo had like 3 hits. I felt like Lay Banks clearly. I know she ain't got no fucking hits. I know Maya the Don don't got no fucking hits. You know what I'm saying? I know Skilla Baby is pretty popular, but he probably ain't got no hits neither. He probably ain't popping out there. Like, this is where it confuses me. Are we putting on people the next class, or are we finally admitting we just put on a bunch of popular people? Because a lot of people on here have popularity, and you can make that argument that they're the next wave coming up. I feel like XXL went for the most popular people they could find. Like, but then again, they didn't put on Caribou, they didn't put on Kenny Mason, even though he's admittedly not super popular. But how many years y'all not gonna put Kenny Mason on the list, bro? For real. How many years is he gonna get on like the thing for him to you to vote on him? And I know a bunch of niggas ain't missing out on fucking Kenny Mason. I'm not gonna admittedly sit here and say, oh, he deserves it more than everybody, but I think he should have got on this fucking class for sure. That would have made it look a little better. There would have been a lot of people talking about, oh yeah, this list looks nice, okay. No, not in the list, but oh, Kenny Mason's about to wash these. And it would have looked like when JID was on the 2018 class. People were saying, or was that 2008? Yeah, it was 2018. Like, damn, he's about to wash everybody on this cover. Now, him and Ski Man's about to go nuts. Turns out Ski Man's ain't do all too great. JID immediately was the best person from that class. There's no saving grace for this class. 5 years in the future, where do I see Boss Man D-Lo? He ain't gonna be. I don't think he's gonna be on shit. I think he's gonna be a good support artist. Maya the Dawn probably still gonna be where she at. Lay Banks probably still gonna where she be at, unless y'all pull a Flo Milli on her ass and push the shit out of her. You know what I'm saying? Skilla Baby gonna be where he at. You know. Four Bats is probably gonna have a nice 2024, but then OVO. So yeah, 2025 probably gonna look a little mysterious, and then y'all never gonna hear from that nigga again. Who else is on here? Big X. Y'all not like this whole list. Y'all not gonna see too much off for a good amount of time. I know XXL isn't for, oh, everyone here is gonna have great success. No, they're just highlighting, who looks like the next wave of great rappers coming up, the next wave of popular, really good rappers to document. So XXL isn't straight up saying everyone here is about to be a superstar. They just found super popular young rappers at the time to showcase to you. It's not their job to make sure that they become superstars. They just want you to. They're just showcasing these specific young rappers' talents. The issue being, This being the crop that we have to represent 2024 is worrying, because who the fuck here sounds different than the other people that you've been listening to that are on the fucking radio? Lay Banks is probably about to sound like fucking Flo Milli if I listen to her right now. Maya the Dawn she's probably gonna shock. She looks like she's about to shock me. I'm not gonna lie to you. She looks like she is. It looks sus. It looks sus as hell. So, that's all I care to speak on about it. Tell me how y'all feel about the predictions of what y'all think was about to happen. You know what I'm saying? Get vocal in that comment section. I feel like this list is about to be extremely underwhelming. I'm gonna be right here to react to them when they finally do drop their music. 9 times out of 10, every reaction is gonna come a little after 2 o'clock or a little before 2 o'clock. But you know what I'm saying? I don't know when all of them are about to, do their stuff. But I'm sure they're gonna drop trailers at some point. When they do, you know what I'm saying, I'm sure everyone's about to start subscribing to XXL. I know I am. So we gonna see what's gonna happen, and I'm gonna try my best to give an uncut, and I'm always gonna be not unbiased. I don't have allegiance to none of these rappers. So for the most part, we gonna be talking about them on a clear, unfoggy lens, and they just about to get a full up, diet, I'm gonna be particularly harsh with this class because I'm tired of rap lacking. I really am. So with that being said, until we meet again, I still got some more banger videos to drop. You know what I'm saying? I got the 2-hour-long videos that I am coming out with. So you know what I'm saying? When y'all interested in that, stay tuned. They are coming. A XXL tier list. Admittedly, I felt lazy. I didn't drop it on time, but now the cover's out. I feel like it's a good time to drop it. So that will be coming out next. Beyond any case, vibe. Have a good time. I will see y'all later, man. Be peace. Love peace. I'll see y'all soon. I keep fucking up these outros, man. Peace out, man. I even fucked up the hand signal. Peace out.
Get bad shit, dirty old twat. 69 ass.